Me and John were just talking about all the websites and groups where you can find out about the sweatshop-free clothes and products that are becoming more and more popular. And it's those little choices that you think are little that really add up to big things. And then I hear these arguments about, if there's not a sweatshop, they wouldn't have any job. No, in every study I've seen, and Ross Perot covered this in the mid-'90s, it made the standard of living in Mexico go down, standard of living in Brazil go down, standard of living in Indonesia go down. It makes it go down. It does not make it go up. And it makes our standard go down. It just, this globalization, the way they're doing it is killing everything. Rusty in Texas, you're on the air with John Perkins. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you for taking my call. I just took Texas government this last year, and they talked about this thing called creative destruction. And creative destruction is supposed to be like a business gets so big that eventually it collapses on it within itself and goes broke, or the people like quit buying the products because they just get tired of it. But I don't see how it can be fair to go and bail these companies out, basically giving them a new deal, because capitalism itself is like a live and let die kind of way of living, you know, because one man's loss is another man's gain.
No, I hear you. Let me get a quick comment from John Perkins on. I would just briefly say this is crony capitalism, and it's been said many times, where the risk is socialized, the profit is privatized, so it's not really capitalism. John Perkins.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. That's why I say it's what I'm calling a mutant form of capitalism, where it's all balanced in favor of a few very, very wealthy and powerful people. But we need to turn that around, and we can do that.
It's like going to a casino where you never win. It's totally rigged.
Yeah, yeah. But only because we allow it to be rigged. We can stop it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but we can do it.
Well, we better, because, I mean, they're just feeding the whole world into their debt black hole. Ronnie in Texas, go ahead. You're on the air with John Perkins. Upcoming book, Hoodwinked. Go ahead.
Perkins, I lived for 9 months in poverty-ridden Peru under U.S. puppet Toledo, and it dawned on me there that would not absolute freedom, and I'm asking you, absolute freedom worldwide for farmers help cancel all continually counterproductive wars on behalf of illegal drug warlords that we're waging in Mexico, Colombia, Peru, Afghanistan, all over the world.
You're asking, how is the phony drug war? Well, I loved watching General Myers on TV last night explain how the occupation had made the opium production go way up. That's a good final comment from John Perkins. John?
Yeah. I mean, the farmers around the world have really been hit hard. They've been hit hard by what we call free trade agreements, where, you know, it's absurd today that a Mexican farmer can produce cotton a lot more cheaply than a U.S. farmer, but you can buy U.S.-produced cotton in Mexico for a lot less of a price than Mexican cotton, simply because it's so subsidized in the United States for the big industries, and this has hurt the small farmer time and time again, whether it's cotton or corn or soybeans or whatever it is. The small farmer has been very, very screwed, and a lot of these people are now what we call terrorists because they've lost their farms. They have no way of feeding their family, and so they become part of organizations that are fanatical because they don't know what else to do.
Yeah, in Mexico, they'll just let you go die in Mexico City. Just die in your hut. No welfare system, and it's just hellish. Well, the new book's coming out, and we're going to interview you the day after it comes out, November 11th, coming up in a month and a half or so. John Perkins, best-selling author of Confessions of an Economic Hitman. It was great having you on. We'll talk to you again soon, my friend.
My pleasure, Alex. Keep up your good work.
You too. Appreciate you being on with us. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure and visit the video and bookstore for all my books and films at Infowars.com. All right, I'm going to go to Lee and Steve and others and take some calls. I got to reset here. And get ready to go over media propaganda. Again, I say I'm frustrated and there's no way to cover it all. The federal government in the last 6-7 years in Australia, in England, in Germany, in Canada, and the U.S., Because our federal government is run by the same big think tanks, the same Council on Foreign Relations that every nation has. Every Western nation has a Council on Foreign Relations roundtable group that is the real government. And they even brag about it. I mean, I played clips of Hillary and others admitting it on TV. I mean, these are some arrogant bastards. And so when I see a headline, state law changes way police draws blood from suspected drunk drivers. When I see an article like that, I know the whole background of this. The average person, I'm not saying I'm smart, I study this. The average person goes, oh. So see, we've had police taking blood illegally from people so long that now they get to frame the articles about, oh, we're changing the way we take your blood now. And this is so invasive. It's totally federal. It's international. It's about training you to submit for global DNA databases. I'm going to break it down at the 20 after. Then I'm getting into the CNN fake newscast video. You don't want to miss it. We'll go over the audio on air for the radio audience for PrisonPlanet.tv members. It'll be particularly revealing. But right now, let's go back to your calls. Lee in Ohio, you're on the air. Go ahead, Lee.
Hey, thanks for having me, Alex. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
I was hoping to get some perspective from John there, but sorry I missed him. But I've actually been a listener for years. I've been, aware of the agenda for about 10 years. I'm 25 years old, a veteran of the United States Navy, and I'm actually happy to be out of uniform now and be able to speak and actually have a voice for the people and myself and my family. And I actually run a website, the Freedom Informant Network. We kind of spawned out of YouTube. It's a patriot community. And you've been talking a lot lately, how do we address the swine flu pandemic issues, all the threats that we're facing here rather soon. And it actually was an idea I had last week when we, expanded on the idea, launched some videos, put the information on the website to launch a global campaign for 9/11/09. And I apologize, I don't speak on the radio often, so my nerves are getting to me here. But
all right.
9/11/09, Rock the Planet. We're trying to rally people across the world, every city, every town across the nation and the world, get the people in the streets. We've seen a rise of interest, and with that interest, we've also seen hijacking by the media and demonization of the media, and we like to get the people out there at a simultaneous time starting noon Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific, and get the people in the streets. And I believe that, especially considering the interest that we've had lately, globally, people have been hitting our site like crazy. And
that's good. That's exciting. Send me some info on it. Look, I'm calling on everybody to start their own website, start their own groups, and promote it. And even with my huge audience, I'm not trying to launch some simultaneous or organized, coordinated thing. What's had success? Our poster contest. People are emailing, calling, videos. The Joker posters, the contest is over, but it's only intensifying with Infowars.com. Then they come to Infowars.com, they find out the truth. I've launched a new week and a half, because it's not this week, but coming up next Friday is the deadline, a new prize, a new poster revolution, where it's whatever message you want. In fact, I'll briefly talk about that when we get back. And yes, we're promoting 9/11 Truth, We Are Change, other groups, all the groups. It's good. Everybody go out, do something, be heard, be involved. That's the one thing I disagreed with Perkins on big time earlier, was that people are anti-health care, that's all staged. But see, he comes from a left perspective. We'll be right back.